Corinne, and I have a special guest here today. Tell them who you are.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Destiny, and we are gonna be doing like a story time as leasing agent. She's gonna be asking me questions, and I'm gonna be answering them. And y'all got some crazy stories too.
Some real crazy. Okay, so let's get into it because I definitely came up with some. So you all commented and you wanted me to let you know what it's like to really be a leasing agent, and I thought, what better idea than two leasing agents to tell you guys some of our good stories, some of our crazy stories. So we're just gonna have y'all a story time back and forth. So the first question.
I'm nervous. Like, what you about to ask me?
Out the gate. Okay, what was the craziest leasing experience you had, like on the job? Top craziest story, or like top 5?
Okay. The craziest story is I had a stalker. That's the craziest story. That did it for me, y'all. That really,
she did,
y'all.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Destiny and I met because we worked at a property in Ballantyne together. And she did, was it the Tim? No, it wasn't. It was a resident.
It was an actual resident. He was an older guy. He drives an AMG Mercedes. And y'all, like, I'm nice, so I don't be really thinking too much into stuff until he started like popping up places where nobody was at, and I'm like, bruh,
what's really going on?
Are you stalking me?
Yes. To the point where, like, y'all, he wasn't allowed to come into the office anymore.
And he still did anyway.
Yeah, like, they did not renew his lease.
He had to leave, and it was like this whole, like, it was just like, so, like, I would have never thought I would have had a stalker like that.
Yeah, especially like at your place of business. Like
y'all, I'm talking about, like, I would be walking out, leaving from work, and I would get in my car. You know how when you get on your car, you be like on your phone. I would look over, this man is right next to me.
It's not funny.
Y'all, it's just like, bruh.
Yeah, no, that is pretty wild. I think my craziest story for sure, I was working at a property in North Charlotte, and this lady tried to fight me. Like, no, y'all, for real, like, tried to fight me.
Like, what do you mean, like she was acting like she was about to...
Okay, so let me, this is the whole story. So when you work in leasing, you're gonna find out that everyone who lives in the property has to be an authorized tenant, which means they have to go through the background screening, they have to go through the credit screening, they have to pay the application fee. You do that to make sure you don't have crazy people living in your community, right? So people oftentimes who may have a record or, you know, different things going on, they will intentionally move in with other people and not go through the screening process, and that's what we call an unauthorized occupant. So she actually applied for the apartment. She got denied due to her credit screening. She had her 21-year-old son reapply, and she moved in with him. He, of course, got approved, so she's been living in the apartment with him. However,
she's not on there.
She's not on the lease. Now, even though she wasn't on the lease, she very much so wanted to come into the front office demanding things as if she was on the lease. And I would just politely say, ma'am, you're not on the lease. You're actually an unauthorized occupant. I'm gonna need you to fill out an application if you want. Well, I'm just helping my son out, and I'm just making sure. I said,
no, your son is helping you out because originally you got denied.
Exactly. And I said, well, ma'am, if your son comes into the office, I would love to go over everything with him. If he has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for him. And she wasn't trying to hear it, y'all, to the point where she acted like she was about to lunge across my desk. Literally lunge across my desk. Her words exactly like, you think you cute because you have a job? Yo.
You just mad because I caught on to what you're doing. I'm not stupid.
And that is when you have to, like, it is so difficult to keep your decorum when someone is trying to fight you. Because automatically I'm in defensive mode. I'm no longer caring that I'm at work. I'm like, Jesus, I need you to send the heavenly angels. Because if she come across this line,
it's just like, I don't know what this lady about to do, and I promise you.
Because you really don't, though. Like, when you think about it, we're being professional, we're at work, but this is some random person. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do. So, by far, my craziest story was somebody, girl, she tried to fight me.
It's like, I don't even know you from a can of paint. Like, for you to even be doing all that. So
my maintenance manager, he had to escort her out, and she was yelling, kicking, and screaming. And my property manager came around the corner, and she said, ma'am, if you don't leave, we're calling the police. Like, literally, because that's how bad, like, she literally was acting like she was
Shake my head.
But anyway, what's the next question? Stalker is crazy, though. That's
next level.
That is like FBI TV show. Okay, when was the time you built a really good relationship with a prospect or a resident? Like, you actually, like, really liked with them, like, they was cool.
Okay, so y'all, I had this grandma. Her name was Miss Betty. She was like the sweetest person ever. Like every holiday, she would like give me a card. She was like, I'm so grateful for you. I know you go through so many. Like she was just like, you know how you have like that older friend.
That one positive.
Yeah, yes. And she was like always so positive. She didn't want nobody to help her but me. I just really love her. I miss her. I miss her a lot. Yeah,
that's sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had a couple who had just moved here from overseas.
Yeah.
And so they did like spoke very little English, didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
But they were just so sweet, and so they were nervous about not getting approved. And when I tell y'all, I went above and beyond for
to get them approved.
I went above and beyond, but no, they were so grateful, and so I was so happy. So when I was able to tell them that they like were approved for the apartment and they moved in, I even rode over there on a little golf cart to check on them when they were moving in. And tell me why they came into the office the next day with a gift. They got me like Amazon gift card, like some chocolates and a note.
That's so nice.
And they were like, we just really appreciate you helping us out. And so every time after that, they would just come and say hey. And they were just super sweet.
Because you gotta think about it. Everybody don't get like every experience with a leasing agent. Like you could really have a stuck-up leasing agent. You could have a nonchalant leasing agent.
Who doesn't do their job.
You could have a happy leasing agent. You could have like an angry. Like it's
the person out. Everyone doesn't give 100% in the job.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are like looking to break into the industry, or you already are in the industry and you really just want to stand out, I would say think about the fact that like these are these people's homes.
Yeah.
Like really do your best to provide the best customer service, and like just if it's something, it may be extra to you, but if it's something that you can squeeze in and it's reasonable, like go ahead and do it, because they really do appreciate it.
And people don't play about their homes. That's all I'm saying. They don't play, so you better know what you're doing.
Their home, their money, their food. I'm trying to tell you. And Jesus, okay?
No, for real.
It is what it is. Okay, next question. When did a resident cross the line and become overly friendly?
Like friendly as in like what?
Just like crossing the boundary of like, this is my workplace. Or did that not happen to you?
I would say like if a resident asked me to go out to lunch with them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just feel like why would you ask the office team to go out to lunch with you? Like, what's your motive? What's your intention? Because now like I'm feeling like you want me to do something for you that you know I can't do.
Yes, that is a good point. Pro tip, when you get into the industry, you're going to probably meet residents that you like, that you mesh with, that you click with.
Yeah.
Do not blur the lines. And that's not to say that like they might really be great people, but the problem is if something happens and they go back and say, well, such and such was at my house and they were doing, that's your job.
That's gonna be like, they could come back to your manager and be like, well, she let me do this, this, and this. Like, you have to be fair to everyone, even if you like one person more than the other, you know?
It's just very easy to get looped up in drama. So I would just advise, even if you feel like, oh, like if you end up if you stop working there and you want to build a friendship, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But if you work at somewhere and the residents, like, be friendly, but to a point. As far as like you said, going out, hanging out. I had a resident that invited me to go out to a bar with him, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I lived on site at the time, so we actually were kind of like adjacent from each other. He was like, oh, you can come over and hang out. I'm having some friends over.
That's a little bit too much. Like, why do you think I would do that though? That's what I really want to ask. I'm looking at them like, bro, like, I'm nice and I'm cool, but like to an extent, like, don't ask me.
I'm at work.
This is my job. Like,
no, what sent me, my worst experience, I became pretty cool with this resident, right? She was a single mom, wanted to help her out.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm in the leasing office working. I get a call from the resident. I pick up the phone. Hey, how are you? How can I help you? I just wanted to know if you could pick my kid up from the school bus.
Man,
I'm on the clock. First of all,
what you think I'm about to pick up your kid
from the school? But she said, I just figured because the leasing office and the bus stop is not too far, if you could just pick them up from the bus stop and walk them to my apartment. I'm on the clock.
So what'd you tell her?
I said, yeah, no, ma'am, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm working. I'm like, do you think my manager is gonna let me leave my job where I'm supposed to be touring to go and take your? Yeah. That's where the lines can get blurred, and you have to politely set boundaries.
Yeah.
Like,
because if you don't set boundaries, they gonna know
that they can run all over you. Pick your kid up from the school bus.
No, that's wild. No, that's like, bro, that's next level.
Come on now. I don't know. But anyway, so, when was the time that you like almost didn't keep your cool, or you weren't able to keep your cool? Like you kind of had a moment, had to gather yourself.
I would say that for the most part, like, I'm pretty much calm. But I think what really like irritate coworkers.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Like working with certain personalities, you learn how to navigate, but people can really grind your gears.
So, girl, I'm not really a jokey type of person unless I'm really cool with you. So when people say jokes to me, I just be looking at them like, who are you joking with? We not on that level for you to feel like you can. And then it's like, don't be joking with me and you ain't even doing your job.
Right.
Because why the apartment's not ready and I have a move in 2 days?
But you want to come in my face joking about something that has nothing to do with anything. Like, but I need keys. I need moving keys. Or you haven't approved my applications. But you want to talk to me about little stuff like water being in the fridge. But we have applicants that need to be approved.
They keep calling me, asking me, how's your manager? No, she hasn't. And I don't know why she hasn't, but
yeah, I think that's really like, and that's in any office setting. When you work with people in general, like, people are gonna be people in. I think you just have to kind of I listen to my worship music before I go to work, even sometimes like during the day on my lunch break, I'll talk to the Lord, I'll take a breather. If I need to walk outside, take a lap. Because when you're interacting with so many people on a day-to-day basis,
it can be overstimulating.
We were just talking about that, like, especially if you're more like us. Like, I'm an ambivert. I can be extroverted, but I'm really pretty introverted. And I have a social meter. And after a certain point of talking to people, my social meter is just spent, And people are constantly coming in. I think you're dealing with prospects, you're dealing with residents,
you're dealing with your coworkers, you're dealing with issues, complaints. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on at one time. So you got to be able to handle yourself and not like, you can't show. Sometimes they're gonna tell you like overstimulated. Like, sometimes, but like, you got to be able to like handle yourself and really like be like, okay, like, I need to.
And I think an important thing with that, like another pro tip, I guess you could say, it is important to prioritize self-care.
Yeah, no, for real.
Your mental health, like, it's important.
Yes.
So whatever you need to do, like, if like going to the gym, going to church, or just taking that time, like even lighting some candles, just relaxing. Like, when you're dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, you want to continue to put your best foot forward, but sometimes you just need to take that time to just decompress.
Yeah. And don't let nobody stress you. Like, people will really try to stress you on a job for their job. Like, sir, this is not a part of my job description, so don't try to stress me about you doing your job done when that's not even my job. Like, I already got a lot of other stuff I need to do, so you just do your part, I'm gonna do my part.
Or even with residents, sometimes they expect things that are a little too much.
Yeah.
And it's a way you learn how to just have that conversation and say, hey, well, actually, that's just not something we offer. Yeah. And then give them another like resource of what they could possibly do to help, solve their problem or give them a solution. But just don't be afraid to politely say no. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. 9 times out of 10, if you're with a good team, if there's a one-off situation where something crazy happens, your team should protect you. They should have your back. Be able to communicate with your manager if you're feeling a way about something. Even your coworkers, like, just stay calm. Like I said, let it roll off your chest. Stay calm. Address them. You can be forward, but still polite. Last question. When did you feel like, okay, I really got the hang of leasing? Like, when did it kick in for you? Like, I got this.
I would say, like, when I would be by myself at a property and, like, I knew that I could handle everything without, like, a manager being there. Because I'm just like, bro, like, it's just me here right now. Everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think. I think for me, like, my first Okay, my bad, y'all. The battery died. But what was I saying? Oh yes. So I think my first leasing job, I was about 3 months in, and same thing. I was working on Saturdays by myself. Even during the weekdays, if I could hold the office down without feeling flustered.
Yeah.
I wasn't having to ask questions anymore. I was able to do all the paperwork, all the leases, and that sort of thing. But I just want to encourage you guys to let you know that crazy stuff does happen. But it's just all in how you handle it. Just roll with the punches. Keep a positive outlook. Just really give 100%. And people really do appreciate the hard. My second battery died, but that's not going to stop it, okay? I just want to close out the video by saying, just put your best foot forward. And wild stuff is going to happen, but it makes the job more interesting.
Yeah. Like you can go home and tell your mama, like, guess what just happened to me and mama.
Because, girl,
I do that all the time.
We have stories for days. So if y'all enjoyed this video and you want more leasing story times, let me know and I'll come back with some more. Love y'all.